I've never been able to speak Japanese. It's such a difficult language. How can I be a Japanese speaker? This actually realization that it's what was my problem. Why I was dreaming to speak English from the young age, and I couldn't make it any result until the age of 28, 9, and now it's kind of skyrocket my language skill. Suddenly, not even like one language. It's even not like only English. Now I can speak like 3 languages. It's like really skyrocket.
Λοιπόν, Νάνση-σαν, συγχαρητήρια για master course. Τελείωσες όλα και πώς περάσατε αυτό το 2 μήνες?
Ευχαριστώ πολύ καταρχήν. Έμαθα πάρα πολλά πράγματα.
何やってんの
20 years I didn't make any progress, and then it's 6 years I go into the this multi-language speaker. So this is skyrocket my skill. The one things I change. Hi, what's up everyone? My name is Terumi. I am native Japanese teacher and I am 35 years old. 6 years ago, I started learning English. So, of course, 6 years ago, I couldn't speak any English. Maybe you are now only you can speak English, or maybe other language you can speak, but it's like you feel I've never been able to speak Japanese. It's such a difficult language. How can I be a Japanese speaker? So 6 years ago, exactly I felt same. I grew up only in Japan. My mother and my father is Japanese, and all my friends is Japanese. And I was working in Japanese company. So how can I learn English? How? Like everyone is Japanese. No one is like foreign friends, or I have never been to foreign country until the age of 22. So which means like totally like Japanese girl. I mean normal. And from then till now, like it's a huge differences from that time. I was dreaming to be an English speaker. It's so many Hollywood movie and a lot of famous people, famous singer. Everybody English speaker. My dream was to be like a singer when I was a kid. So that's why I was listening so much like American pop music, and then super cool. I really, really want to speak English. That was a dream, but it's, how can I start? I graduated high school when I was 18, and then I start working. And then when you start working, it's so actually difficult to push yourself to change your life totally. You work every day, and anyway, it's quite busy. You have to go to the office. You need to go to the work, and then it's just a day. It passes every day, and then it's so difficult to find the chance to push yourself. And then, okay, hey, today I'm gonna decide myself that I'm gonna be a Japanese speaker. Like boom, like you really decide today is such a like big decision, and it's big determination. When you're adult, it's difficult to find a trigger. because it's not when you're kids, you anyway graduate to school, you change the environment to from high school, university, or like elementary school to junior high school to university, and anyway, it's changed the environment anyway. But it's when you start working, it's difficult to actually change yourself. And then when I became to age 28, and this time I was working in Tokyo. Okay, I'm gonna be 30 years old. And then should I continue these things forever, which means I will never be able to speak English. I will never be able to have any English friends. Of course, I will never be able to live different country. This is like something like a crazy things for me. It was. Now I'm living abroad. Finally, I made it, but it's in that time I've never been even able to speak any language. It's only Japanese. Then it's so difficult to imagine myself that it's actually can I live in a different country, and can I work with different language, which is English. And now I'm age 35, and this 6 years, what I did is I learned English, I learned Greek, and I'm learning German. And then I moved to Greece, and I have daughter. And then my daughter can speak 3 languages.
お父さん何やってんの？え？
ママ、何のセーブね？
うん。なんで行っちゃうのって。なんで上行っちゃうのって。
なんで言っちゃうのママ？
みんながわっはっはっはって笑ったから怖くなって逃げちゃったんだよ。
ちなみにママ？
どう思ってんのって。
どう思ってんの？
怖かったんじゃない？
私どう思ってんの？
怖かったんじゃないかな、真っ黒黒つけ。
And I can speak 3 languages. These 6 years, how can I say, like,
Ripon, Nancy san, si Haritiria, ya master course, τελείωσε όλα και πώς περάσατε αυτό το 2 μήνες?
Ευχαριστώ πολύ καταρχήν. Έμαθα πάρα πολλά πράγματα.
it was a big decision, first of all, like you actually really move out from your country and then live there and work there. Having the family is like something really big decision. And finally, it was really, really good choice. I really feel it was good to actually decide when I was 28. Because, this decision, if I didn't make it now, I'm 35. Today's title is, I'm almost 40. And then it's still my old me is there, if I didn't make the decision, which is just that I speak Japanese, and then I only live in Japan. And now here, on YouTube, and I can speak English. And can you imagine the first day of the YouTube in English was so stressed, but it's still now also I know that my English is not really perfect, not even really well, but it's the the point is I have the confidence to speak. If somebody say, can you speak English in front of the camera, then I'm gonna say, yes, of course I can. Yeah, this feeling is amazing. And that's actually, I really want to tell you that you are maybe almost age 40 or maybe 30 or maybe even 50. But try to think your future 5 years later, or maybe even 1 year later, you can speak much better than today. If you cannot speak at all, then you will make a really big progress if you do the correct exercises. Yeah. So just one things I'm gonna tell you what I changed these 6 years and how I learned, these 3 languages, and then now I'm going to the 4th language, which is German. And this actually realization that it's what was my problem, why I was dreaming to speak English from the young age, and I couldn't make it any result until the age of 28, 9, and now it's kind of skyrocket my language skill. Suddenly, not even like one language. It's even not like only English. Now I can speak like 3 languages. It's like really skyrocket. 20 years I didn't make any progress, and then it's just 6 years I go into the this multi-language speaker. So this is skyrocket my skill. The one things I change is I stop learning grammar or vocabulary that is like a textbook things. Textbook, you just look at the textbook and then you just try to learn the grammar or letters or vocabulary. These things, I just stop it. Then I think, you have a question. How then you learn? You don't even see the text, even you don't see the grammar, even you don't see the vocabulary. Then what you should do is the things, prioritize the sentences and memorize. But then prioritize the sentences and the memorize. But I want to speak everything, everything. Then actually my daughter is 5 years old and gave me a big messages, because why 5 years old girl or boys, which is child, 5 years old even cannot read a sentence. 5 years old kids cannot read a book with the alphabet. I think it started like 7 or 9, like 80 years old, they can really read some letters and they can start reading some books. But it's, you see, it's so many kids are, of course, learning a lot of languages, or at least one language, without textbook. And why adult cannot do it? Why? We can learn language without textbook too, of course. Then I actually realized this: prioritize the sentences and memorize and then pronounce it well. Yeah. So, for example, let's talk about how the kids are learning the language. And then, first of all, kids, native, for example, native English speaker and native Japanese speaker kids, they cannot read a newspaper, of course. Even they cannot understand a difficult movie or difficult story. They can definitely understand how to eat, when they having the dinner, what they need to speak. When they having the lunch, breakfast, when the visitor come, how they actually speak, how to greet, which is like what exactly we need, When I meet American people, I want to greet naturally. When you meet Japanese people, how you behave, how you actually speak, you just want to speak naturally. You don't really need read a newspaper or talk about really difficult topic like medicine or economy, whatever. You just want to meet people and you just want to speak naturally, right? Then we just need to commit these things. So then when I meet American today, what should I speak? Hey, what's up? Hey, how are you? Where are you from? Like this, what is a natural sentences? This is we need to commit, not like a grammar or a lot of words doesn't give me any phrases, natural phrases. So that's why you just need to commit the everyday speaking in Japan. So when you meet Japanese people, どうも、はじめまして。てるみです。どちらの方ですか? Where are you from? Actually, I'm from Japan. And where are you from? If you can speak Japanese naturally to the Japanese, this is the first step that you can say, I can speak Japanese. I can communicate with the Japanese. This is actually really simple and it's more fun. How much we felt that it's, oh my God, it's tired, difficult, or a lot of vocabulary, a lot of grammar. When you don't have high motivation, it's really actually difficult to continue to study and then to improve yourself. When you actually really feel that it's, oh my God, it's difficult or it's not fun. But try to think, you actually prioritize the sentences to actually meet Japanese people today. And oh, どちらの方ですか? アメリカから来ました。アメリカのテキサスです。テキサス来たことありますか? Have you ever came to Texas? Have you ever been to Texas? I'm from Texas. And what about you? Some small conversation when you did it. Oh my God, yeah, I can speak. It's more fun and you even really feel that I want to learn more. I want to learn next conversation. Now I can speak. Then how can I invite the dinner? How can I go out together? Because when you start speaking, you really you are really excited and you really want to speak more. And that's actually, these 6 years changed my life, that it's always I excited to learn the language and new languages and new conversation, new topic. And I really said goodbye to just, learn the grammar itself or vocabulary itself. So these things, it's really amazing things that I really believe that it's adult like me, like age 40 and can learn new languages. It's not about only Japanese language. You can learn Hindi, or you can learn Korean, you can learn Chinese or Spanish. Any languages, it's the same things. You really need to, first of all, you need a high motivation. So that's why you cannot do just alone and you don't speak any native languages. I mean, you don't even speak to the native at all, and you just look at the textbook alone, and even you feel like, oh my God, am I learning correctly or not? Then you really feel alone. You really feel actually, I'll never be able to speak Japanese forever. I'm studying alone so much, but it's the being alone, you cannot learn. You can learn only from the native people. So that's why we really need to communicate. We just need a foundation to actually start speaking. That's actually skyrocket your speaking skill. So any age, any time, you can definitely learn. And I can definitely learn too. So recently, I learned Hindi. Mera naam Terumi hai. Yeah. So this is step by step. You can learn any language. So if you want to change your life with a Japanese speaking skill, seriously, join our master course, 2 months. So you can be ready to communicate with Japanese people after 2 months. So for example, you can maybe make Japanese friends, you can enter the Japanese company, you can try more conversation with Japanese people every day. So that's why your speaking skill grow up every day. So these 2 months, we're gonna make a perfect the foundation of your Japanese speaking skill. Then you can start speaking with Japanese people, real life or social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, or anywhere that you can actually have the chance to speak. So if you really want to change your life seriously with Japanese communication skill, speech skill, presentation skill, for the business, for the private, let's join the master course.